All right, in this video, we're going to talk about the fat loss blueprint for individuals over the age of 40.
So one of the things where we get really deep into it is like looking at the problems that individuals over 40 are dealing with mentally. It's like, for me, whenever I reached the age 40, is like it was something that I realized that half of my life was over with, and like I started to think, like, if I don't take control of myself and the things that I'm putting in my mouth and like the results that I have now, there's a potential that I'll never get to experience those results. And so a big catalyst to why the Vitality Meals here is because of my relationship and what I saw my father go through. And he had a lot of regret of not doing the things that he knew he needed to do, but he didn't have individuals surrounding him, holding him accountable, pointing him in the right direction, didn't have the knowledge and things like that. And so I just think like that's the biggest piece of it, is you have to understand that whether you're in your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, that the life is like, it's going by quick. And we don't have to make it difficult, and your life's not over. You can still get some amazing results, and you can still live life and get the results that you want. But if we're not having some type of focus and some type of clarity on what it is that we need to do, and that's what we're trying to do today, is there'll be one of those things that will continue to repeat the same patterns that you've repeated over the last 4 decades or 5 decades from there. And so more than anything, what Christian and I want to do is just be able to lay out a blueprint so that you can take one thing, act on it, got that down. Now let's move to the next thing. And what might happen is at the end is it might be something that you come in and you go, hey, it's something I want to hire you individuals or you guys or the Vitality Mill to help me and point me in the right direction, because we've guided you and we've shown you and you've seen results off of it. That's the biggest thing we want to do, is get you the results that you actually want. And by doing that and showing you that, then you start to understand, like, hey, these guys actually know what they're talking about as far as that goes. So what would you say, what is the number one that you would start with on the blueprint?
I loved what you talk about as far as saying we don't have to make it hard. And that's what a lot of our clients do. I'm sure we've done it ourselves as well. Is you see all these different diets out there and you think that one way is the way that you got to go. And you think either I'm following this to a T, and if I mess up, then I'm completely off the wagon. And we've seen that time and time again with individuals that come in to the Vitality Mill and they're 40 and older, and it's like, hey man, when's the last time you worked out? Probably in my 20s or college time. And then whenever they show up, they're like, I'm gonna be here 5 days a week. I'm gonna follow everything that's on this nutrition sheet. I'm not gonna have anything else. But what we see with those clients is they go from not doing very much at all to trying to do everything all at once. And then once they slip up like humans do, then they're just completely off the wagon, and then they're right back in the same position that they started in, because then the guilt happens and the shame happens. And what we show you how to do is we show you, hey, let's start 2 or 3 days a week. And then let's try to have a simple nutrition sheet to follow. And then if you screw up, totally fine. Let's just not do it twice. Let's get back on track. But we're there to help and support you and show you that a more sustainable way to do it, rather than I'm either on the wagon or I'm all the way off.
Yeah, anything you hate doing now, you'll hate doing it later. So
Yep.
finding a way that works best for you. Like what Christian said there, though, is finding that what works and being able to understand that. I had a lady the other day who came in and she wanted a meal plan. The reason why we don't give meal plans, we give some frameworks and we give a way of being able to eat and you can make the decisions, is like you mess up on one of those meals that we laid out, and then it goes off the deep end. And I'm speaking with integrity as far as I've had a negative relationship with food as a younger, like as a toddler, because one of the things that I remember my grandpa saying to me all the time was, clean your plate. There's starving Ethiopians in, that kids that would love to eat that food right there. And like, if you're not hungry and like as a kid and you're forced to eat it, then what starts to happen? So that's one piece of it. But then also I've had nutrition coaches in the past that brought up to me and was just like, hey man, like you having one or two slices of pizza is not an issue. It's eating the whole pizza and then thinking the rest of the weekend that you've messed up. And then you just go and you dig yourself deeper and deeper and deeper into a hole. And so it's allowing yourself to understand that the food's going to still be there, that you're going to still be able, just because you had one bad meal doesn't ruin everything. What ruins everything is that bad meal leads to a bad breakfast, leads to a bad lunch, leads to a bad dinner, and then goes into Sunday, bad breakfast, bad lunch, bad dinner, and then start again on Monday. And then you start again on Monday, and I've been there, where now you're more lethargic, you're more frustrated with yourself, you're beating yourself up. And what we start to do then is we start to do things that we hate doing, that we don't even want to do or want to experience, because we think that we have to get back on track. And if you would, and if we would, and we'll just stop where we are and go, hey, I messed up here, or hey, I allowed myself to have this, now I'm right back at it, and quit the self beat up, and just change that relationship with food of just like, food is fuel. And we're all going to slip up, we're all going to, and we all want to experience good meals or foods that we love, but that doesn't mean that you have failed. It just means that you enjoyed a good meal. Now I'm going to get right back at it the next day. And maybe it is something you keep it a little leaner. Something I've been really focused on is, last night I had raw broccoli and raw carrots with some chicken that we had the other night. Yeah. And I dipped that in that Bolt House that's got 50 calories for 2 tablespoons, which gets you a lot of different ranch. Yeah. And it gets you a lot of, you go 4 tablespoons is 100 calories. More than enough. And then what you start to see is now you can start to enjoy, and your mind doesn't know that it's that Bolt House ranch. It thinks it's like the regular ranch. So
and food is fuel, but we got to keep in mind too that there's a lot of good fuel out there. Just because there's one healthy food that you don't like, don't feel like, oh, that's a green I have to eat because this person over here is very fit and they're eating it too. Find things that you like to eat and that you enjoy to eat, because you will sustainably be able to do that and be able to keep your progress going. While we're on the topic of nutrition, I feel like we can definitely touch on protein. That's something that a lot of people, they're just completely unaware, especially our clients that first get here. They don't know how much protein they're taking in.
Or make it way more difficult than it has to be.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be. And we lay out a simple guideline as far as, hey, this is when we're going to eat our meals, and then in between our meals, we're going to have protein shakes. Those protein shakes are great because they have a sweet taste to them, but they also keep you from snacking, because you feel that urge to, I feel like I am hungry, but it's not really time to eat yet as far as eat a whole meal. I'm going to have a protein shake. Protein's very satiating, so it's going to hold you over for longer, and that'll hold you over until your next meal, but then at the same time, you're hitting your protein goal as well. And
there's a reason why we give higher protein is, like Christian said, it keeps you full.
Yep.
But a lot of individuals think that especially women that have a negative view on protein, where they think that they're going to bulk up and put on muscle and things like that. And you're going to put on some lean muscle, but you need to have that lean muscle. But for you to get bulked up, you don't have those genetics. It's just not the way it works. Yeah. So we will give a client maybe 130, 140, 150 grams of protein, and they'll look at it and be like, oh, I don't know how I will be able to eat that many grams of protein. And so like this little tricks that we know that we can do is, like, obviously the protein shake. You get that Core Power by Fairlife. It's got 42 grams of protein, 230 calories right there. Boom. Greek yogurt. That's the one that Greek yogurt, putting 0% Greek yogurt and putting some protein powder in that Greek yogurt. That's another. Greek yogurt has tons of protein in it already. And then you add that other side of it where you're adding more protein powder into that and giving it some flavor. Something me and you've been experiencing a lot with is the creamy ice cream. Yeah, that's a way of tricking your mind of thinking that you're getting ice cream, but you can actually make it where it has high in protein, so you're getting your protein in there. And so we've got to quit telling ourselves that I can't eat that much, and instead of starting to find out ways that you can be able to sneak that extra protein in
Yep.
to where it'll be, even if it's like a protein shake that you're making yourself and you put in a couple of scoops of protein instead of one scoop, you're getting more protein that way.
Yeah.
But it has to be an emphasis on the protein. If you're wanting to lose weight, if you're wanting to build lean muscle, whatever it is that you're wanting to do, burn fat, got to have that protein there.
Yeah.
So.
And what's cool about it is all these things that we're going to talk about here, you're not going to be great at first. Like with our clients that have never tracked their protein before, they might be at 60 grams of protein and we told them, hey, you need to be at 120 grams. And so they look at that and they're just like, there's no way I'll ever get there. And then we show them how to slowly get your digestion used to consuming that much protein. And we show them how to slowly work their protein up. And then before they know it, a month later, they're like, man, I'm crushing 120. I'm hitting 130 grams sometimes. So you got to get used to it. It's just like anything else. Whenever you were a kid and you were trying to ride a bike, you didn't just hop on that bike and start pedaling and going fast. You had to start out with training wheels on it. You start to learn those things. And then as you learn, then you start to take the training wheels off. And before you know it, you're riding fast and you're cruising and making progress, but it all starts with baby steps and then just building up from there.
Yeah, life is, if there's an obstacle in your way, life comes down to building, and if there's a problem that you're dealing with, then it comes down to a skill set or a mindset that you need to adopt. And so by just throwing our hands up and going like, oh, this is how it is, I can't get it done. No, you need to start embracing a new skill set and learning that. And so the best way that I can give you is like, what advice would you give your kids? If your kids are telling you that they want to be this professional athlete or they want to be in high school and get this certain place, you're not going to tell them, and they maybe they need to put on some muscle or maybe whatever. And protein is something that they've gone to a personal trainer and the personal trainer or the coach has told them you need more protein. And then the first thing that you wouldn't tell them, oh, you can't eat that much protein. You can't do that. You can't make this. You would speak life into them. You would be like, hey, let's figure it out. What if it's like they have a homework and they can't figure out and they don't know the information on the test for the homework that they're going to have to be taken? It comes down to a skill set that you have to start learning that stuff. You wouldn't say, well, you might as well just quit school and not do anything with it. You would find a way to like, let's build that skill set so that we can get the results that we want. And that's the same thing when it comes to the mindset as well, is what got you here is not going to get you there. And if you don't try to question the thoughts that you're telling yourself, and is that really true that I can't eat 120 grams of protein? I can guarantee you, if there was a gun to your head and it was like, hey, I am going to pull this trigger unless you figure out how to get 130 grams of protein, you're probably going to get 130 grams of protein.
Yeah.
So like, quit putting your stake in the ground as saying like, I can't get this done and I won't get this done. And understand that like, you're not going to ever get the results that you want and that you deserve because you decided that like, you just can't do it.
Well, that mindset on things is a lot of the reason that got us into the hole that we're in the first place and got us down into that pit, is because we told ourselves negative things. I can't do this. I can't do that. And that's what's got us into the position that we're in.
Yeah.
For sure.
So what else do you think? Is there anything else?
I think the last biggest point we can touch on is the style of training that we're doing. And at the Vitality Mill, we prioritize strength training because, there's all these different other kinds of training, and working out's great, but if we're not putting on muscle, and muscle is what's going to allow our metabolism to get faster, it's going to allow us to be able to consume more calories, speed up our metabolism, and ultimately allow us to get results by strength training and building up that muscle. But what you see is, these HIIT workouts that are advertised and all these things that are hard and makes you not want to show up and do those things because you don't like doing it in the first place. But we'll show you a way where you can put on muscle and enjoy it.
Yeah, and that's the piece of it is there are a lot of programs out there that are cheaper, that don't want to work with individuals over 40 because they may have injuries, they may have limitations, they may have something that's going on with them that coach doesn't know how to address it. And so a lot of them would rather just beat you into the ground and give you a bunch of burpees or tell you to go and let's do this high intensity workout today where it's not teaching you anything. It's just keeping you moving as far as that goes. And
they're giving a 20-year-old that same workout that they're giving a 50-year-old.
Yeah, and individuals that are stressed out, that are tired, that are wore out already, you talk about giving them more of a high intensity workout. They're already stressed out, and then what happens is you're already tired, you're already stressed out, you're going through these fast movements, and it's just one mess up, one thing that you do, that misstep or whatever it may be, then you're injured, and then you can't work out. And now what happens is you got this negative connotation around working out. And so you see individuals like Christian and I who are trying to help you and trying to point you in the right direction. And you think that like we're doing that same type of training, and that I was talking to a guy that's 52 the other day that came in and signed up with us. He's like, I'm just hesitant because I had a personal trainer before, and I told them that I couldn't do the amount of weight that they were telling me, and they were giving me these 35-pound dumbbells and telling me to curl them, and they wouldn't give me any other option. And it's like, then he hurt himself and tore his bicep, and it was like, yeah, they were telling you to do something, but like if it's something that you can't do, then that's where we need to meet you where you are and give you something that you can do and be able to lighten that weight. So it's not something that you're going to step into immediately and have down and be able to do it. But you can still wait that last, and that's what our rate perceived exertion is, those last 1 or 2 reps. But if you can only get 1 or 2 reps on something, or you're doing an exercise that hurts and for whatever reason, then we need to give another option. And that's why we are the best at what we do, because if you can't do this, I've got another exercise that you can do immediately that'll come right to my mind to point you in the right direction, because we've done it over and over again. So anything else you can think of?
And with our training at the Vitality Mill, we're very knowledgeable and we design the program, but we also listen to our clients. So when I'm designing the programs, I'm listening to what clients enjoy doing as well. So not only are we giving you what you need, we're going to give you what you enjoy as well to keep it fun for you.
Well, that recovery is probably the last piece. Is like, if you're doing the same things that you've always done, and you're eating less calories, but now you're trying to work out. Maybe you're buying a pre-workout or drinking an energy drink or coffee. Maybe you're eating closer to bedtime. All these things will impact our recovery, and that recovery is also going to impact how we're able to bounce back from a tough workout and stuff like that as well. And so with it, you need to be able to start working on what got you here is not going to get you there. So it's like, if your routine has always been, I'm going to watch TV until 10:30 at night, and then I'm going to eat about 9, and I'm going to have my last coffee about 2 or 3 o'clock or whatever it is. It's like, these habits aren't serving you anymore, and it's time to again start a new skill set, a new mindset, and change and understand that what got you here is not going to get you there, and that for us to be able to continue to get the results that we want, something's going to have to give. We're going to have to, like I said before, it's like where there's a negative, there's a positive, but we have to allow something and let go of something so that we can grab onto that next new thing that's going to get us the results that we want. So
most of you guys watching this, you're business owners, you're a full-time mom, you're a teacher. And so the last thing you need to do is try to design your own program, try to write up your own nutrition plan. What's cool about the Vitality Mills, we take all of the thinking out of it. You just show up, we give you the game plan as far as the workout goes, we show you how to properly do the workouts, we give you nutrition, and then we're guiding you along the way. That way you don't have to think about it at all. As far as the recovery, like Seth talked about, we're spotting those things. You're looking a little bit more tired today. We create those conversations, and we start to pinpoint these areas that are lacking, and we show you how to build those up and show you how to get results.
Well, it's asking, how do you feel? How you feel impacts everything. If you're tired and you're coming in here tired and wore out, the worst thing that we can do is beat you into the ground and give you a workout that's going to cause you even more problems later. So the last piece, and we'll end it at this, Christian was talking about, we're going to, like, majority of our clients have limited capacity as it is. And so they have this small plate, and they're trying to pile more and more and more and more on a small plate. by you allowing us to be your strategic partner when it comes to your workouts and your nutrition and your recovery, what starts to happen is now you can take your mind off of that and give that to us to allow us to help you and point you in the right direction and hold you accountable to. And then you can focus more on what you're good at, whether it's the parent or the business owner or whatever it is. And so now what happens is we've basically given you a larger plate, and that larger plate, now you have more capacity to be able to figure out and do the things that you're really good at. And by you letting us take that off your plate, now you've got a larger plate and more capacity to take care of and do the things you love to do, help the individuals that you love to help, and be there for them and guide them to and do the things that need to be done to help you get the results that you want long term. But that comes down to a capacity to be able to do that, because if you keep on trying to do it all yourself and pile more and more and more on, it's individual, you're going to burn out at some point. So that's all we're trying to do. That's something that you took something out of this, and it's something that you put into play immediately. That's what we asked you to do. And if you need more help with that, don't hesitate to reach out to us, whether it's something that you email us or it's something that you see one of our videos on Facebook, whatever. Just reach out. We'll point you in the right direction and guide you from there as far as that stuff goes. Got anything else?
Yeah, no, I love it.
Yep. We'll see you on the other side. Hopefully this helps. If it did help, let us know so we can continue to create videos like this to help you get even more results later on. So we appreciate you. Have a great day.